Well, we haven't made a video for a while, but that's because we haven't been sailing for a while, and I guess I don't feel inspired. I don't want to make videos about just walking around the streets.
Or your BioTrek stuff.
For this episode 50, we're off to the Kingman Islands in Massachusetts on this July 4th holiday weekend. These scenes are as we sail past the Boston Harbor Islands as we leave Boston Harbor to head south. The wind was northeast, and when we got out of the harbor, we unrolled the genoa, and then, going south, we put up the gennaker.
We're just off the coast of Plymouth.
Now motoring in the Cape Cod Canal that connects the Atlantic to Buzzard's Bay.
Gray day here, but it's going to be nice tomorrow. But we love being in Bassett Island, anchorage. And the water is really warm here.
Kingman, go ahead. Space at the fuel dock for a 15-foot whaler for a dinner.
So as you can hear from the VHF, we're anchored outside Kingman Marina, where we kept a boat for a couple years. And
In Pocasset.
in Pocasset, Massachusetts,
Cape
which is
Cod.
in Buzzard's Bay.
So we left Boston at 6 this morning.
Mm-hmm. Look at the
It
camera.
was sunny, beautiful, and we got here at 12. High
That's
speed.
because it was blowing 25.
Yes.
That's why we got here fast. And then we put up the gennaker, and we forgot that we had taken it to the sailmaker, and it wasn't tightly rolled, and it's like, okay, it's blowing too much for the gennaker. But if we take it down, it's going to unroll, and we're going to be battling. So we unrolled it anyways, and thankfully, all went well. Right?
Yeah, it allows us to get here a lot sooner.
The round the world. Are we going to do around the world?
It's very...
We don't know what we're doing anymore.
I'd love
With
to do
COVID,
it, but
with
it's...
COVID-19, it's too messed up.
Yeah, it's very difficult. I think the plan is still to take off to go towards the island in October, November, as soon as the hurricane starts to ease off. And because we have no plan to keep the boat in Boston for the winter. If we can get away with our plans, we might stop in Bermuda on the way down. And then after that, we decide what's next, whether we cross the canal and go back on our second round the world, or we just stay on the Atlantic side a little bit longer in Caribbean Sea, which is also a beautiful cruising ground. So we don't know. It's all open in the air right now, and a lot of it is going to be dictated to us by the
What
COVID
happens? Yeah.
issue.
That's it. We have not been eating out, but we did eat in the restaurant, and it was delicious. I had lobster salad. Oh my God, it was so good. People are pretty respectful in Massachusetts. Rates have gone way down. 2 days ago, they had 0 deaths. and the death rate is still low, the infection rate is still low. And I think it is because people are doing social distancing and wearing masks. And I think, eating outside in the air with people wearing masks that are serving, and of course you have to take your mask off to eat. But we even put our mask on to talk to the waitress, just to be considerate. So I think it's working.
We'll know in 14 days.
Yes, I still do like eating in restaurants. I thought maybe I wouldn't. It's been so long.
The next morning, we left our anchorage near Kingman Marina and proceeded towards the cut at Woods Hole, where we would meet our friends in sailing vessel Balu.
She's wagging her tail. She recognizes you guys. You're a little close, Pierre. Oh my God. It's very close.
We were feeling super good about our 9 knots, but okay, whatever.
That was good, Pierre. That was good. Look at Chiller still wagging her tail at them. She's still looking at him.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm glad you came over for lunch on July 4th, 4th of July lunch.
Happy 4th of July.
Just tell me a little bit what you do in life, your real
All right,
job.
So I'm actually from Spain. I moved to the United States because I wanted to continue with my career. I'm a veterinarian. And so I came to the States and I became a cardiologist. For people that don't know, a veterinarian can have specialties like in the human counterpart. So I'm a cardiologist in that sense. And then after meeting Lauren in Florida, we moved to Boston so that we could continue with both things, work, but also sailing because we love sailing. So currently we are living aboard so that we can at least get the sailing that we really need while we are still working. So.
Yeah. And Lauren, tell me about your career.
So I have a PhD in design, construction, and planning. I got it a couple years ago. I'm a landscape architect by trade, and I just got my dream job at Penn State University, teaching landscape architecture and environmental ethics and cultural built environment stuff. So I'm really excited. It's going to be weird because this means that I'm going to be living in Pennsylvania for the school year from the end of August to May. But the good thing is that because it's academia, I get to be back on the sailboat in the summer in Boston. Which
You say you want to do long distance cruising. How are you going to manage that with your careers?
We either take first a year off, so we basically cut ties with everything, and
Like a
year,
proper
2 years,
sabbatical.
a proper sabbatical, maybe a couple of years, and we go wherever. It doesn't have to be around the world, just go cruising. So we can say that we have done some cruising while we are still relatively young, and then hopefully we can go back to work wherever we can. I love my job. She loves her job. So I think this is going to be difficult to cut ties completely.
We have some remote options as well. There's a lot of there are a lot of telemedicine options.
Yeah.
Especially now with all the COVID stuff, a lot of education is shifting towards online models. And then I have a little graphics business that I'm working on. And so there, as long as we can be someplace where we have Wi-Fi, at least occasionally.
So once you get a boat, I think the learning experience, and that's one of the reasons for us to move aboard without cruising. First was to move into the boat, stay live aboard, and learn about maintaining your boat. Learn about fixing almost constantly things that break in the boat.
There's a huge adjustment period, not just to learn to sail, but just acclimating, I think, to boat life in general. That was part of the plan.
Who's coming? Lauren and Yvonne had some trouble coming in today, which made Tiller anxious.
Okay, so when things go wrong. So what happened earlier?
Today, the day didn't start very well, and usually when bad things happen in 3, right? So this morning already we had problems with our windlass.
What happened was we were trying to raft up to BioTrek.
Yes.
And we couldn't. And then our
Because we
dinghy,
couldn't because the
it was
waves
too
were
choppy
enormous.
It was
and
too
there
choppy.
Yeah.
So
we
were
decided
backing
to
up.
back off, and then our propeller got wrapped around with our dinghy line, and we tried to drop anchor real quick because we're like, oh no, we don't have a propeller. And then we found out that our windlass broke.
So when I saw it wrapping around the propeller, I fear for the fact that we wouldn't be able to motor out. So we were drifting against one of these boats, actually the boat that is right there.
Great one.
I went all the way forward, we dropped all the chain manually.
How
100
much
feet of
chain?
100 feet of chain.
Oh, you dropped 100 feet.
100 feet of chain.
Meanwhile, I had found out that I didn't think the prop was still wrapped up because the dinghy started drifting away.
Yeah, so
and I
basically
saw the end of the rope, so I went up to try to tell you to stop dropping the chain.
it was too late.
Because I knew that we were going to have trouble getting it back up because the windlass was being weird this morning.
And Pierre was saying we'll launch the dinghy and we'll go get it, right?
Yeah, so by that time it was too late. The anchor set very nicely.
It did. It
did
set
set
great.
very nicely.
It was really good. We were
so-
just too close to that other mega yacht,
Yeah,
and he was very unhappy about it.
did-
We're sorry. We knew that the anchor needed to come up. We were working on it, I swear.
But then when we were trying to pull the anchor up, the windlass stopped working completely, and I had to retrieve 100 feet manually, which did not work because whatever broke from the windlass, it was inside, was one of the gears, so the manual retrieval
even pull it up.
didn't work. So we had to engineer something on the fly.
And you weren't actually in danger of hitting the boat, but you were close to it.
Well-
and he was yelling at you.
Yeah, and
panic.
my worry is
He
that
was
once
not
the
helping.
and once
Can
the
we
wind
just say, like, when people are in trouble and they're obviously trying to fix it, don't yell at them from your boat because it's not helpful. Like, stating the obvious is not helpful.
Plus, we weren't going to hit the boat as long as the anchor was set. But my problem was once the anchor comes off the bottom, right? Then is when you can hit that guy, right?
And if our prop was still tied up.
Yes,
weren't
we
really
couldn't
sure
use
if
the
it was
engine.
free.
So the 3 things went wrong at the same time, as usually they are. So then we had to use a spinnaker sheet all the way from the bow. I ran it back to the electric winch. And at that point, Pierre
came on board and helped
came on
feed
board
the chain.
and make sure feeding the chain. We were able to pull the anchor
I was
out.
at the helm making
Lauren at
sure
the
we
helm.
didn't run into anybody.
And we solved it, and then we went in the harbor and got a mooring, and here we. So things went wrong. We fixed them. We did not crash
And
into.
we fixed them relatively calmly.
You guys were calm. I didn't hear any yelling.
No, there wasn't yelling. There wasn't yelling.
Yeah, you did a good job.
And we did not have a rope cutter until the beginning of this season. And it's actually not a proper rope cutter. It's a zinc that connects on the shaft. And at the end of the zinc, there is a sacrificial aluminum rope cutter. So you have to change it every season. $30, best $30
It's worth it.
spent so far.
And if you want to see also some video going from Woods Hole to Martha's Vineyard, look at Instagram.
Yes.
What's your Instagram?
It's actually Sosa Vet. Sosa is my last name, SOSA Vet, as a veterinarian. You can find there the video with BioTrek smoking us at probably what, like 10 and a half knots, 11 knots?
At least.
No, we're doing 12.
12 knots, there
Were
you
you
go.
doing 12?
And we were happy doing 9 knots in our little monohull.
was gonna ready to be like, hey, so BioTrek, we're feeling pretty good about our 9.5 knots. Race on, huh? Then you put the head sail up, and I was like, I don't feel good about this anymore.
Lisa, because it's the 4th of July, you probably should be filming that boat.
Happy 4th! Happy 4th!
The sun came out, the waves died down, and I think
We have run.
we have rum.
So we're going to look at the windlass.
So it's vertical to start with, which is where I wanted to go in 4 hours.
And the nice thing with it, of course, is you can clutch it.
Yeah.
And you can just use it as a rope windlass instead of a chain. So it makes it nice. And very often when we go into med moorings in the med, where you have to pull back and then you have to pull yourself back up once you're tied up nicely to the dock, I just take the line and put it around here and just winch it up until it's really, really taut. Then I lock it on my 2 cleats.
Right.
So that works well.
That the catch has a dog.
Yes.
The catch. So he was.
The next day, sailing vessel Balu sailed on to Nantucket, and we took some photos as they went past our anchorage.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun.
Have a good sail!
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.